Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Revolution Esports production. Today we have a lovely game between Shinigami and Stevenson University coming on. I'm going to be your more of a commentator, while Temporal is going to be the play-by-play, I believe.
We'll figure it out as we go
We'll
along.
figure it out. And we have Shape once again with the production. Either way, it's going to be a lovely... I believe this is Div 1 match.
It is. It is indeed. Both these teams currently sitting at 1-1 in the division. They've both taken a beating from the Chocker Bros, who sit on top of the division. So they're roughly in third or fourth. Dirt and Chocker Bros actually play during this week as well. So they after this week we'll see between Dirt, Shinigami, and Stevenson who sits at second, third, and fourth, and perhaps it'll be deciding the ordering we go into playoffs as well, given there's only 5 teams in the division.
Well, I do believe Sucker Bros and Dirt are currently playing, so I think it's going to be up. So I'm expecting a loss for Dirt, which will put Shinigami and Stevenson up for second place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless, of course, Heaven has taken a toll and Sugar Bros are going to get ruffle stomped. You never actually know.
I wouldn't count on them at last year's Division 1 champions. They know exactly how to do this. So you know what? That's a different game. Let's talk about the game we're in right now. The first map we'll be going to is Lijiang Tower, and just I guess to introduce the teams, we have Shinigami on the left, Stevenson Uni will be on the right, and the players for Shinigami are Moot. You'll see a name Dios, who also goes by Color, not Color, Kala. So you probably use both of those names because we'll forget. Timmy, Ant, Lukinas, and Z2K. So not Z2K like I was about to pronounce. For the side of Stevenson University, we have Miman, Sominomi, Duoston, Johnny, Frigi, and Radioactive.
Now arriving at
I really don't like that radioactive name. It just gives me that something dragons name song into my back of my head.
That's all right. So, oh yes, and we should mention we've got hero bands today. The Division 1, 2, and 3 follow the competitive ranked ladder hero bands. So heroes band today will be Arissa, May, Hanzo, and Baptiste. So no bunker available for either team.
Well, it's been fairly interesting. I've seen a lot of McCree as a standard, and besides that one, I've seen quite a bit of Doomfist or Tracer run instead of the May. It depends on what the qualities of the team are. Oh, actually, Symmetra coming out here from Stevenson University.
We'll see whether it's they stick with it or it's just a teleporter to the point. I mean, it's not unheard of. You see Symmetra here, you get the teleporter out, you burn that off, you come through, then you use it to maybe get on the point through those top windows. So it's not necessarily a meme.
It's a valid strat. It gets you there faster, but it's actually going to be Shinigami to come in with the dive combo with that Pharah Mercy.
Oh, and the Sombra as well. Plenty of information coming in from Luke. Oh, there you go. And there you go. Pharah already proving that Symmetra's out of the fight. Proving it's not a meme pick as well. They were trying a Symmetra strat, but they're not going to get in or have the ability to use it. Oh, Shinigami cleaning up. When the point unlocks, eventually they'll have first capture.
It was very beautiful. If you did not see it on the back of it, the rotation did not come through with the pick, and then Timmy used that time to perfectly place an anti-nade on half the team. And with that, there was no healing available, and it was just Dios burning through the high damage.
There you go. Johnny swapped off onto the Torbjorn now. It's perhaps a little more of a different pick, you see, especially on a control type map. I think from control maps, I typically see Torbjorn on Lijiang Tower. But anyway, Dios getting quick work onto that Torbjorn turret. Johnny not having a fun day against this Pharah so far. Though Stevenson has managed to move onto the point. They lose Radioactive in the meantime, but Ant going in, there's no Winston there. No big shield presence available for the side of Shinigami now. So if they want to contest this, they're going to have to do it in the brawl. There's the barrage over the top from Color. Picks up 2. This will be what it needs. So what Shinigami needs to turn the point back in their favor. In the end, they only gave up about 20%. You know what? You'll take that as Shinigami.
Well, I think the plan here coming forward from Senior University is the fact that there is no shield. Torbjorn currently has the highest shield damage in the game, including when Hanzo is not banned. So using that
Ah.
Torb turret and the damage coming out, not to mention the port denial from that Molten Core, it's quite the good strat, but it was the nice dive coming out from Shinigami that's able to get away the Diva that should have prevented the damage from Dios.
Oh, here we go. Self-destruct over the top, trying to catch someone out. Doesn't quite get any kills, but it does set up Luke to pick off Johnny in the back line.
Well, it was a nice split here from Shinigami, and then now they're going to be forced back into respawn.
Yeah, it's a good bio grenade to start off that fight too. I think it put Stevenson a little bit on the back foot. They're like, we want to contest, but we're not getting any healing. And now you look at it, yes, it's up to 70% for Shinigami, but Stevenson has a lot of ultimates. They could come here and steamroll the point right now.
Oh, it's very easy, but so far they've had most of the ult before. It's just that Shinigami's been able to stop them and shut them down even before they're able to come into rotation to actually do anything. But Shinigami is gonna, they know how many ults are currently online, so they're playing a little more passive here.
And look where Luke is sitting, just waiting to use his EMP to deny any ultimates available. There it is. It comes out, no ultimates coming off. Oh, there is a Soundpower duo doing a great job evading the EMP. So that Lucio was alert, ready, and look, Luke is the first down in the fight. Johnny loses his turret, but you're not particularly going to worry about that. The trades are going back and forth. Overtime has been triggered. Stevenson sits on the point because they need to be there, and they actually get the capture. They're in a great position to hold on now, win out this fight. That they will.
Well, it's an expectation. The Friggy was able to pick out the Mercy as well. The EMP came through, but Dustin was peeking in the corner here. If you have a support that's able to basically hide and predict the EMP, as he just did there, it's fantastic.
And not only that, with the way they won the fight as well, they didn't need to use all their ultimates. All they used was the Nano and the Sand Barrier. They've still got everything
used
else.
the Nano Ryan for clearing. And he has a Shadow up. Or he still has a Shadow up.
Exactly. They've got the fight, they got the point, and they have the ultimate advantage for the time being. They will quickly go back towards Shinigami. Self-destruct over the top. Doesn't get anything, just
Another barrage coming in a second.
Yeah, oh, the Earth Shatter is out. Doesn't quite lay anyone down. The barrage is, oh, it's over the top. It takes out 2.5. That mech is gone as well. Z2 will get the finish. Z2, sorry, will get the finish up onto Somi. Point almost flipped back to Shinigami. They're in control. They have the numbers on the point. Man, not going to do anything flying off the side. Shinigami taking out the first round here on Lijiang Tower.
Well deserved. They had a nice rotation from their ults, able to stall all the way to 99, even with ult disadvantage there. And it was just, it was Dios. He got the Nano. He didn't pop it directly here, but he was waiting for that D-Mech on the Diva that he fell into himself. And they got it through there. And we see a little bug here at the Torbjorn hiding behind the turret. It is one of those weird things that currently there is a bug that the turret blocks any kind of excessive ult. For example, High Noon can get blocked by turret, Shatter can get blocked by turrets, Sleeps can get blocked by turrets. So it's always, and of course Reinhardt Charge and Doomfist can also get blocked by turret. So we did see the Reaper, or see the Torbjorn hiding with that little turret, but now we're gonna go for the next game here.
Yep, a bit more standard comps this time. Both teams are choosing to run the Reinhardt Zarya. Then we see the Doomfist you mentioned at the start on the point. You can hear him punching himself around the point, using it as his primary form of locomotion. The kills so far though in Stevenson's favour, and with that turret in the backline, it's going to be very difficult for Shinigami to even contest this point. They're going to give it a good go, but I don't think it's going to work out for them as Stevenson captured the point. Oh, the tanks of Shinigami still here contesting.
Here, and it's Lucanus here peeking up the side, able to pick up the Zarya. Now main tank is down. Now Reinhardt is hacked, and they have a high charge Zarya in their backline.
That they do, but the Z2 is forced to fall back, and now the Molten Core is on point. You mentioned it, but it's only going to pick up Moot. The rest of the kills going the way of Shinigami. Oh, the Nano Burst onto Z2. Oh!
In this case, it's more about the point of knowledge. You saw they were not able to rotate on half the team due to the fact that there was armor and Molten Core in the way, which is the main purpose of it all. It's not to get the kills, it's just to keep some distance on your team. It's one of the old clockwork strats. Watch that keep finishing.
Coco Vendetta, the European scene. Still going about the thing.
Exactly.
Anyway, we're getting distracted from the fight at hand. Radioactive is the first to fall. Stevenson not going to get through this doorway this time, it seems. The turret is doing its best, but you know, it's only a turret. It can't really think for itself. And look, Luke has that EMP online now. Stevenson going to find it very difficult to make their way through this doorway, no matter which direction they come from. Oh, there it is. Hits all 6 Freddy's. Eliminated straight away. Color coming up with that. Picks off Somi as well. Timmy getting in on the action. No support. Sometimes you get bored in the backline.
Well, if none of your tanks are like missing any health, might as well get some shots in.
Oh, adding insult to injury there for Johnny as well.
Well, it's gonna be a nice stagger, and they're gonna get this free percentage now.
Oh, there's the Earth Shatter. Lays down a couple of members of Shinigami. Ant's counter shatter is even better. The sound barriers from both Lucios able to counter them a little bit. The trade's going both ways, but they're favoring Stevenson right now. Bridgie picking up Timmy with that high noon at the end as well will mean Stevenson can march onwards towards the point. They took a lot of ultimates to get through the gate, but now they're here. They're finally able to get some recapture progress started on the point. See if Shinigami is willing to let them at it. No, Ant's going to get charged straight out of the fight. Somi gives their life for it though. A tiny little opening here for Shinigami. They don't have control of the point, but they have a brief moment to move back in.
Well, they were able to pick up the main tank here, and they were able to stall a bit longer here. They're at 83%. So all they need is one good fight win and take over the point, and then just need to stall it, and they should be able to pick up the second map.
There's the Graviton Surges out from both teams. Oh my word, the Space Jam combo! Dios comes down, picks up 3 plus the turret. The Molten Core is on the point, but it's too little too late. Shinigami able to flip it back. What a great combo.
The spaceship. I've heard that quite a bit. I've heard mostly people refer to it as the Space Jam.
That's what I meant to say. If I said spaceship,
I like
too much
space
sci-fi.
Pick up your own words, I say.
Look at that EMP. Oh, hits them as they come through the door. Somi's having something to say, but that gets 2. Doesn't quite get the kill onto Ant, though, who's able to take Radioactive out of the fight. Johnny's back as well. It's now even 3v3, but the Nano Boost onto Ant will Earth Shatter into a shield, but really, when you've got the Nano Boost, the Earth Shatter isn't your main offensive weapon. It's that hammer of yours, swinging back and forth. It wears off, but now the Reinhardts are swinging at each other. And you know what? This time has let Stevenson Gaming come back. Not only that, they've captured the point again in the middle of that fight. So Shinigami stepping off ever so briefly. They do finally lose Somi and Radioactive, though. The tank line is down. Friggy not far behind. Numbers definitely in Shinigami's favor here. They're going to clean up. They're going to recapture the point, finish off Control Center, and take out Li Zhang Tower, putting themselves 1 up in this series. Oh, their Shadow just seals it. There you go. Shinigami taking an early lead in this series.
Well, it's a beautiful game. I have to give a lot of credit to Lucanas here. He was on the Sombra, and as you know, the attack does get interrupted by fire. Just being able to play outside that turret range for such a long time is fantastic.
Oh, there it is. The space shuttle combo. We're going to make it a thing, Rins.
The space shuttle. Well, I've actually saw yesterday a GM game, and I coined the term Graviton Frost when you Sigma ult and then drop it onto a May ult.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So I like space shuttle. Should he send them? Well, they basically get sent back to spawn, and that's quite the bit of acceleration that Doomfist does give them. Here, smash them into the ground.
He's
On the other
probably
hand, we could
launching one
make
as well.
always an argument for some horrible. I believe it was the Voyager jokes as well, but I'm not entirely sure if that's either too soon or too late. Either way, good rotation here from Shinigami. They were in control for literally most of the map here. They had good rotation. They went on to point, and I think it was the performance of Dios both on Night Market and here on the Doomfist, and that in control set that was able to secure the victory. He had good punches. He was able to get quite a bit of kills, and with that, with Bios and with the combo, he just cleaned up.
Indeed, he did. We'll see if he's able to continue that presence throughout the game. From the side of Stevenson, we saw Johnny on some weird picks. Do you think they're going to continue with that, or they might go something a little more standard?
It always depends on what they played in Scrim. These are, of course, the hero bands that are currently live in Overwatch League. Normally, since this is the first day there, they might have hoped for to see see the characters and strats run by the pros, but thanks to the current coronavirus, the homesteads have been canceled so far. For the next month, it's going to be up to these. Oh no, we're actually looking at the that's not in the same map pool. We're looking at um the comp map pool. So
Yep, they
never
took bunker
mind that
out
what I just
essentially.
said. It's just and yeah, that's completely null and that void. Um, it's always hard to practice, since especially like as of Thursday, Reinhardt has been out of the map rotation comp. So if potentially the main tanks got rusty for the last couple days, same with Ana as well. So hopefully the players are good enough to continue with the current fight. But is it still anybody's game? Shinigami has a really strong showing so far, but yeah,
It is
Stevenson
it
would bring it
it was
back.
and it was control, the more brawly style of map. If you're a team that operates better around objectives, say pushing a payload like you will be doing on a Rialto,
Well, they
maybe you're waiting for this kind of game mode.
Well, mate is still bland, so picking Rialto here where you have that double choke going into it, and if you have that Torbjorn turret, if you can get it, if you get the point rolling, if you have Torbjorn on point with his own damage against shield with his Torbjorn turret as well, it's going to be very, very hard for the Shinigami team to come onto point and take it over. But it seems like to be opting
Indeed.
for actually for an attack here, and it seems they decided on
Yep.
Rialto on the Nice Venice map.
Yep. And the teams have swapped sides. Shinigami will be attacking first. They're on the right of screen. Stevenson will be on your left, defending first. We're still assembling our heroes. You know, I'm pretty sure if the Avengers took this amount of time to assemble, Thanos sort of won. I don't really know. I
Well, you
don't think
never
most
know.
fans learn. Like, you could just
I
take the
think there's a
time you
big
need.
difference between the characters we have in Overwatch and the Avengers we have in general. So I don't think it would have been a fair fight either way. Um, on this note, I'm still sad that there is no actual Thanos skin for Doomfist. I think that would have been grand.
I mean, yeah, you've got a character with a glove who can eliminate half. Like, we saw it in the last map. We
He can
saw
one shot
Dios.
more than 50% of
Exactly.
of the current Overwatch roster. So snap his fingers and everything else. At least give us a snap emote or something.
I
I know
mean,
that that there's a contract with I believe it's Epic on all those rights and video games. So
uh,
it's Disney.
at least you can at least get part where they buy the golden glove skin
Oh, true. I thought we were
for
going to be going off and we're going to see Shinigami come with that dive. Of course.
yep. It works so well for them before. Why change it off? And no change really from Stevenson either. Sticking with Johnny and Friggy on the Torbjorn McCree. Somi forced to fall back, goes very low, getting pressured down, but able to get healed up. Johnny now just dancing around trying to avoid those rockets flying in from Dios, trying to get the turret, trying to give better than it got, but unfortunately beaten out by the Pharah, being able to duck out behind buildings. A little bit more useful. Maybe they should give the turret legs.
No,
That'd be a scary thing. I mean, the turret. That's true. Oh, Duo with the first kill of the fight. Johnny following up. No, Johnny, it's turret, sorry, following up the loot. So not quite able to avoid the turret this time. This is a good
It's
start.
insanely strong against counter dive and stuff. They have shit higher mobility than Winston. As you can see, it was radioactive, peeling through the backline here, going in, same as micro missiles, burning down the shield and then killing offhand.
Yes. Well, so Stevenson, have Shinigami stopped on this first corner? We will
Oh,
have a
I
brief
think there's a
pause.
pause. It seems that one of the coaches is on the wrong spec, so to make it a little more even here, he's going to be choosing to switch sides.
Oh, that's okay.
Not sure
What we
why
should
they
do, but
paused mid one, but I understand it since Moot is actually in charge of the um uh is in charge of the lobby, but he's currently on Mercy, and if he's tethered to a Pharah above water, I understand why you would not just escape for a couple of seconds for that one.
you know what? We should even it up. We should bring in a coach from Stevenson, have them spectate Shinigami. And then we can have that. That would be interesting. Having how would you work that? I mean, yeah, then you have the coaches sitting in the voice channels with the players saying, "Oh, you know what? They're bunching up behind the red door.
Well,
Just
it's
watch out
actually
for them."
fairly common to see them, but normally they are muted while they're in chat. It is one of the roles that we have to enforce, and that's why we have actually them actually in Revolution Esports, so we can actually control the matches as such, see who's muted and who's not. I believe the only coach that's currently in the specking is Frenchie. I'm not sure if he's a sub or if he's a player. Either way, Frenchie is a
Frenchie's a
coach.
coach.
Frenchie is currently in there. He's muted. And our lovely friend Annie, the cheesy leech, is actually specking as a coach, but he's not actually in the voice channel. Uh, I think that's against
That
the
makes sense.
rules,
If
but
I get what you're saying, yeah.
either we're going to be starting off once again, and it's going to be hopefully the Nana Barrage coming up inside of Shinigami next fight.
Yep. Neither of the pharmacy wanting to take a swim, and thankfully for that, yep, they will get their opportunity to use that Nano Barrage there. We could, of course, see Nano Valkyrie, you know, mixing, spice things up a little bit. You got to get through this choke point somehow. Don't put it all on Farah. There you go. The barrage is that takes that duo and Friggy, and it wasn't even Nano boosted. Ant is the recipient of that, who hunts down Miman in the backline. The Molten Core used on the cart, but to no avail. The rest of Shinigami cleaning up here. They will finally make some cart progress around towards the end of point A.
I think it would be. Let's see, it's actually not Valk, it's actually father-mother combo. Or Nano Mother's Day. I don't know. You can always come up with new names. Either way, we're going to be going forward here. They're going to be almost catching first point here. A little brawl on the fight. They still have all coming out. Nano on Reinhardt now. Big brawl,
Yes.
and then the anti on Z2
Oh!
is forcing to be disengaging as well. And with
That
the
was
ball
really
as
good.
well.
It was on both the tanks there as Somi was swinging through, so they had to fall back, but they've done a really good job, particularly their support, so able to build them both back up once they got away from that fight and the grenade wore off. But Z2 coming up big, picking up 2 kills here, will secure this point for Shinigami. They've captured the first point. They've got 4 minutes still left in the time bank for the rest of the map.
Well, they did one to. The first dive was not successful, but they were able to build up that ult, that Nano Barrage here, that's able to carry them through next fight here. Ant does get naded as well, but as long as Stevenson University, they still have the worst respawn, so it takes a while for them to reset and regress, and it seems they're going to be holding a little passive here, and be holding on the stairs, not pushing forward, just giving Shinigami a little room to breathe.
They'll have plenty of room for, I'm just thinking, for the Nano, if you Nano to Farah, should that be called Bring Your Daughter to Work Day?
I'm not entirely sure. I think that's a little morbid humor on that sense, but I do like it. Either way, I think that's what they're going to try to go ahead again. And with Dios, already picking up Friggy as well.
Oh! Just need to deal with the turret now. And they go, okay, ignore the turret, rain down the barrage, take out Somi and Radioactive. Got both the tanks, picked up Meman as well. No other players need to get on this kill feed. Dios has your back.
And this is a really, really clean fight, so they should be able to pick up second points pretty much for free. And yeah, respawns are in bench here, going to be poking a little bit forward. They still have the Nano. I'm assuming they're going to Nano the point into the brawl of this.
Do you even need that? You've got the EMP out. Johnny goes down. Duo goes low. And then once that EMP wears off, the rest of Stevenson able to fall back and regroup. So no more kills coming through for Shinigami, but they've still got a few great ultimates available.
Yeah, it was a little overzealous there on the Nano though. So on the EMP and everything else, but and with the 900 IQ spot here on the top left.
Smart play there. Have you seen the car approaching the final turn? Somi comes out with the Earth Shatter, lays down the Diva on the ground. Oh, unfortunately, a little too low, and Bio Grenade gives their life for it. Now, Shinigami going on the front foot. They've got all the room to play with here. There's no big Reinhardt shield to protect the defending team. They're going to come in. The Valkyrie in tow, the Primal Rage as well, and use that just to stay alive.
Another barrage here.
Oh, there it goes. It comes out, picks up the entire support line, gives their life for it.
Oh, but Radioactive here with the Nano.
Oh. The resurrection onto Dios as well. The numbers are definitely favoring Shinigami. We'll see if this self-destruct is able to make any difference. No, everyone just tucks below the cart, able to avoid that. There's a sound barrier Duosin on the car. Actually, that's how Barry hits Johnny in the middle of the high noon as well. Keeps the McCree alive. Finally, Duosin's taken out of the fight. Dios out of the fight. No resurrection available anymore, so he's used it earlier. Might come a cooldown, frankly. It's Luke will pick up 2. The self-destruct over the top now from Z2. Clears a bit of space. The car will push home. 2 minutes 22 left on the clock for Shinigami.
Well, it was a nice timing there. It was looking at us hacking that Sigma there, so there was no shield available, no nothing. So they were just forced off a point. In Z2K here, in that middle of the brawl fight, he was still able to keep track of the McCree ult here, ate the entire ult as well, and then went back on point for the peel. Quite a different fight here if he did not show that much of a mechanical skill there. Either way, 2 minutes 22 seconds, not a bad time for this map. Well, let's see what Stevenson University can bring to the table.
Indeed, we will. I feel like the side of the players from Shinigami are definitely. I think if you look at it role for role, particularly where they're matching up the the divas playing against each other and whatnot, I feel like, particularly in that diva matchup, Z2 is doing a much better job than Radioactive, just having a little more impact on the game. So I think. Do you think that Radioactive needs to take the fight more to Z2, or just needs to be doing a better job supporting the team?
So far, I've seen him actually being caught out quite a bit more. Like, he's one of the last people to survive. So either he is out of position when his team dies, or he's not using DM here. But it's going to be Radioactive. He needs to step up, and especially with that DL, it's just raining the amount of damage coming out of him. It is D.Va's job to mitigate it. And so far, he was only able to DM 1 barrage here. So it is potentially a little bit of positioning from him here, but this DL's being so strong and Z2K with the backup as well.
We'll see how Stevenson is able to match up here. They're picking Friggy on the Ashe now with Duostin. Pick up the Mercy to make sure that there's plenty of damage coming out from the Ashe. That's a good fire grenade. Hits a couple of members of Stevenson. Forcing them to play a little more wary though. Luke perhaps should have been more wary. Gets picked off by Johnny. Z2 has something to say about that, as does Dios. It's an even trade on both sides. With the resurrection available coming from Duosin. Moot is able to get on Ant as well, so very back and forth. 2 kills, 1 resurrection per team. It's very, but the car is still pushing forward. We'll see, these Reinhardt's going toe to toe. Oh, Somi copying the bio grenade, allows Ant to swing through, finish off that fight. Just like that, Shinigami will take control.
No, but Johnny with the high noon there. They do have the spawn advantage, and those are the picks they needed. Both the team and Dios out of the fight.
And no resurrection coming through either. This is the opportunity that Stevenson needed to make some more progress and hopefully for them, push through the rest of point A. See if they can get the job done before Dios gets back.
Nope. He is
Dios
back.
Is back. With a vengeance. Oh, the Earthshatter right into the shield. Ant doing a good job there blocking that. It gets hacked now, so maybe a little too... Oh no, sorry, that was Somi getting hacked. My mistake. And Carcass Nano goes to a nap. Well protected by the self-destruct though. And also probably a little bit of Stevenson being a little afraid. You don't want to wake up the Nano Reinhardt because you don't really want to be squashed down by the flat end of that giant hammer. Somi charges back into the fight. 6v6 now, but the ultimates. Oh, look at what Shinigami has. The barrage. No, not. Yeah, the barrage does come over the top into the EMP team. The Earthshatter invested as well, just to make sure that fight is cleanly finished off for Shinigami.
Maybe 1 or 2 ultimate overzealous here. I think they could have just stuck with the Shatter and the EMP, or Shatter and the barrage. It's going to be fairly hard since they do have now a bomb on the side with about... Oh, actually, it's only 2 ults coming in from Stevenson University here. It's going to be fairly even. Valk is a good ult, but it does not do much, especially with the team that is Shinigami just playing split and having that peel mobility even when they don't have a Lucio.
There you go, the self-destruct will be the first ult. Oh my word, it picks up the entire pharmacy. Radioactive stepping up. That's what we wanted to see out of that Diva player. And Ant taking it up as well. It looks like might be on the receiving end of a charge here. If Somi's able to get in position, no, the Reinhardt's charge into each other, but Johnny is there to make sure Ant goes down. Z2 taken out of the fight. This is what Stevenson needed. They've only got a minute remaining, but they have a great chance of finishing off point A right here.
Yep. The clean was fairly quick, so they're gonna be able to recontest. The other's gonna be trying to maybe pull some shenanigans here on the high ground. Oh, they're actually gonna recontest it. Lucas coming in.
Yeah. There, the tactical visor out sound I haven't heard in quite a while in these matches from Frigi. Takes Moot out of the sky. That is a key pick, but it is the only pick they're going to get. Shinigami with a great re-engage, picking up the rest of Stevenson University. Now, Stevenson in a dire position. They've got to... This is the hardest part of Point A to attack, Rins.
It is fairly hard since the spawn advantage does flip over to the side of the defenders that close to the bridge. And we're down the last 10 seconds as well, so we're looking last fight territory.
Oh, the defense matrix and Z2 protecting Ant. Johnny is able to finish the kill off, but there's a lot of more ultimates available for Shinigami. So I've spoke too soon. Stevenson University racking up the kills. EMP, a last-ditch effort from Luke to stop this capture on Point A. Moot has the Valkyrie as well. Ends it up, uses the end of it to get the resurrection on Timmy. It's still very back and forth. Oh, and gets back to the fight, lays down the Earthshatter. That is the end of Stevenson attack. Shinigami going into half-time, 2-zip up in this series.
I have to say, I feel slightly bad for the main tank of Stevenson University. He was seeing the map pool. Oh no, May, I can potentially be more aggressive, anything else. But Lucanus here, he was apparently smelling the buff to Sombra, and that one came live. He's just showing off how much he could do on that Sombra character. Just making that right heart life quite the bit of horror. And once again, radioactive. That is not a couple of the fights you did see the entire team walk past him. As a former off tank, I'm just wondering, it's like radioactive. Why aren't you spamming the corners?
Probably maybe a little out of practice as well. You know, Sombra hasn't really been in the meta since we went back to the end of Goats, so their triple DPS comps or Sombra Goats. So, Divas, I guess, been out of that since then as well. With a lot of Orisa and Sigma being played, I mean, you're just out of practice. But that's something they need to pick up on. Hopefully, Radioactive's able to pick up on that in the middle of this, going to halftime. They have a
Well,
conversation with the team and they pick
it's
it
not
up.
just one effort here, but that off tank position is always a strong one. It is always a difficult one to play, and it's against. It's just Z2K seems to be so comfortable, so amazing at that role. It's kind of hard to look at radioactive as like it's always an impaired angle there, but it's not just Z2K here. Timmy also showing beautiful on the Ana. A couple of Johnny's able to. I think Johnny was the Anna on the side of Stevens
No,
University.
Johnny's a
Oh,
DPS. It's
then
me man.
oh, Meman here. He does get a couple antis there, as you said, and anything else, but it is pre-engagement, so a lot of time it is Shinigami able to zone out that retreat there, restabilize, and by the time they actually engage, that anti is already been taken care of, like you saw quite a bit in these fights.
Yeah. I just realized I don't mean to be picking on radioactive, sorry, just talking
Oh
about Zenfiro,
no,
trying to do
it's
the
just
comparison and
it's
yep.
everybody's trying to do their best. It seems that it is this Z2K's game in this map, and he's just showing off his skill and his flexibility, and his even with the 4-second nerf, it seems it has not stopped his speed so far.
No, and you've mentioned it as well. Great play out of Luke. I love seeing the Sombra in play. Dios doing a great job as well, and well supported with Moot. We've seen the Mercy supporting that far really well, supporting the rest of the team, getting a few crucial resurrections as well. Even if
Some of the
Shinigami's
like once in a while, he does get a really cheeky one as well.
that's what you never to see. You know, play the Neptuno style. Get in there, get the res, get out. You know, sometimes you might die, but if the other team is expecting you to play a bit more passively, well, they're going to be in for a shock.
All right, so we're going to be going on to the assault part of this map, and it seems to be picking up Hanamura.
Oh,
Uh,
we won't be seeing Hanzo coming home, but we could see some Genji out here. I just throw it in
I'm excited to
like
see a couple
teenage
of
teams.
Corbs, but it is Hanamura is that first map point. It is fairly deadly for Pharaoh Mercy combo. So if Steven University are probably going to be expect to see that Widowmaker come out on this last map. But with the run rotation, you do have. It's going to be up to the DPS of Stevenson University, potentially picking up a Widowmaker here with a Mercy pocket of themselves and trying to contest Steos in the sky because That is the major factor. Dios is the one condition for Shinigami. He gets those barrage up almost every single fight, and every single fight time he uses a barrage, it's beautiful setup by the team, but it just rains destruction on the Stevenson University, just destroying them.
I'll be curious to see who from the side of Stevenson would play that Farah. I'm just looking back, and really both
I'm
of
gonna
them are
assume they're gonna actually be
playing.
pulling out the Torbjorn and a hit scan on this map on first defense. Torbjorn is
Yeah,
very
not
strong on first point and second point. The spot is since the choke is so tight, if you have a good turret in there, it's always going to be the attacking team that has to rotate into the line of sight of the turret and gives it quite a bit of damage into the team. And it's going to be, especially if they're going to be since Shinigami is gonna run the dive on this first point, it's gonna give him quite a bit of advantage of bursting down that Winston bubble.
Shinigami will be attacking first. I won't believe what they're going to roll out on until the timer counts down to 0 and we see them come
Oh,
out of the gates. But the side of Stevenson, I'm a little more confident in what they're running out on. So I'm a little more confident that they are running out on these heroes. Whether it works it remains to be seen. But you guessed it right. Hit scan Torbjorn. They swapped the roles around. It's now Johnny on the hit scan, Friggy on the Torbjorn.
well, I assume they're fairly flexible on those two roles. The projectile speed of that primary fire of Torbjorn is actually very close to the projectile speed of the previous Hanzo one before the recent nerf, so his skin should be able to play him. And he is one of the current top DPS on the line here. And having that backup of that Zenyatta with that anti onto the Pharah, hopefully Johnny will able to stop the reign of Diaz here.
Yep, and Shinigami opting not for the dive like we thought, but just the Reinhardt Diva, a little more static with the Farah in the sky being a nuisance to the backline. We'll see how Duo is able to cope with it as well, hiding out on the point for the moment. Hey, Johnny
Down.
Yeah, gets resurrected immediately and it's losing Somi now. This looks like, okay, I take that back. Radioactive is going to keep Stevenson in this fight right now. Looks like this
Angry
Zarya's
Russian lady putting out the damage.
They're glowing, so radioactive, maybe a little radioactive themselves. That's an unhealthy glow there. They're just waiting for Somi to come back. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the runner. Using that charge across the gap does get him back faster, maybe 900.
Oh, wow, and Johnny picking up deals at the start of the fight against Somi, swinging through. Ant goes very low and he's taken out of the fight. Wow, Duoson picks off Moot as well. This is a great defensive start for Stevenson.
It's that Zenyatta pick. It's the damage with a Discord orb, and Zenyatta can put out so much damage himself. And it's just destroying Shinigami so far. Even ZTK being picked up there by Johnny. I was thinking there that he might be a little bit close there, but he has confidence in the skill and gets the kill.
And Z2 is swapped across onto the Zarya as well. Seeing Radioactive pumping out the damage and going, you know what? I'd rather do that too. Of course, Zarya being a much better
combat fight most of the time, so having that Zarya at the high damage is just going to be one of the big advantage.
Look at what Stevenson has available for ultimates on the line. The bit of Shinigami who opens up with that Deadeye. Not quite going to get anyone.
Well, at the moment, I believe it would be using either zoning out or for the shield trade here, but Ant does break most of the shield as well.
Oh, there you go. Earth Shatters out. Doesn't quite get anything blocked, but the Graviton Surge will make sure that tank line is held in place. The Nano Boost not coming up anything for Ant as well. Stevenson rolling through them again.
Actually, the Nano Boost did come out here. It's just that Ant died as soon as it got hit. As you see, the ult percentage, Timmy is now down to that 15%. Unlucky for that ult. If it was a little potentially a second earlier, he might have been able to save his main tank there. But with that, we're going to be going back to the Rumble here. Shinigami trying to get thing a little more.
Oh, do you want to go in that room? Do you want to go when the Molten Core is online for the other team? There it goes. It comes out. Dios doing what they can. Picks up. What? How did Farah
get a very scrappy fight? That Molten Core on the floor is just putting so much damage out. I want to tell you, like, Diaz comes in, he has the barrage, close quarters, knocks two people out, but it seems that Free was able to put enough Molten Core on the floor to make sure that it was Shinigami pretty much stuck in that room. There was no escaping. and with the DPS flanking, they were just burnt out, and straight to point this time around.
There were enough kills to allow Shinigami to just march straight onto the point here. We'll see how well Stevenson goes with their recontest. Oh, there's the loose Somi at the start. Ant has the Discord, but that big shield is going to keep that Reinhardt alive. Transcendence now forced out from Duos, and just to allow Stevenson to re-engage in the points. Now, even fight at the moment. Oh, Duo gets bio-grenaded, gets cut down. Friggy's out of the fight as well. The Graviton Surge from Z2 doing a great job. That will clean up the point and allow Shinigami to capture it out.
Nice ultra here. It seems that Duos, he wants to make sure that I'm not the Sapphire one trick. As soon as I switch to Doomfist, I'm gonna get the picks as well.
Indeed, we saw that Doomfist come to great effect on Lijiang Tower, so I'm expecting lots of great things, particularly when paired with Z2, because there's some more space shuttles on the field today.
Well, you opt for the Doomfist since he is, technically speaking, another tank for the side of Shinigami here. This one running the 3 tanks and just having... I'm sorry, but Mei is basically an off tank. She has a shield, she has an ability.
Oh, there's a nano burst onto Somi, marches down the stairs, gets the Earth Shatter blocked, but it doesn't matter when you've got that giant hammer swinging through. Picks up 5, almost, yes, gets the team white. Well done, Sominomi. That is what you do, play Reinhardt to do.
Exactly. I think that's a dream. And I'm gonna be fairly interested in when Lucy does get banned, and looking at some of the pro games. It seems they're gonna be opting for like a break and slow rotation. But Tsunomi having both that nano and that speed was just running after must have felt great. I love that the Reinhardt highlights that he has in his reel.
His peak Reinhardt there. You can't get any better. Now we'll see if Ant can perhaps replicate the same as Shinigami move onto the point. Oh, the Deadeye across the point takes Radioactive out of the fight. The Graviton Surge is knocked out of the fight. Ant gets the kill onto Somi as well. Oh, Ant trying to replicate exactly what Somi did. Picks up 3 kills at the start of the fight. Picks up 4 as well. Dios coming in to play spoil sport to the team white. Graviton Surge thrown out by Radioactive, but they're not able to follow up and get out of spawn. Shinigami will finish with a minute 20 in the clock.
Yeah, with that little boop from Moot just shoving back the Orisa, the Zarya just spent 1 little second there, able to get the point, get the tick and going. And it seems that if Shinigami takes these fights on their own term, on their own turf, and have Stevenson like engage onto them, that is the time that they win these fights. If they go into Stevenson University, it seems that they are losing, but as soon as they rotate and play their own game and make Stevenson play to their beat, they're just rolling through them.
Yeah, Shinigami stepped on the point 2 times in that map. Once on point A, once on point B, and they captured it both those times. So Stevenson perhaps need to be a little more aggressive. I'll give them point A. They were down a few numbers, so they had to fall back. But in that second fight, I mean, maybe they let Shinigami come in.
Well, they knew, especially with the amount of damage coming out from Radioactive, that top choke is just so deadly for them. And the McCree as well. There's no way that Ant can get up those stairs with the shield intact. So they just basically opted out, just drop back the point, have them engage on us. Looking at us big with that high noon, picking off the one of the tanks there, and just giving so much room. There's no bubble to protect the rest of the team, and it's basically that nano just burning through Stevenson University.
Now we'll see if Stevenson is able to finish the map. Of course, they need to do that just to stay in this match. Shinigami on match point, 2-0 up. This could be the final useful map for Stevenson. Hopefully they're able to keep their match hopes alive. The teleporter comes out, a little teleporter strat. The Radioactive doesn't quite take the journey, getting bullied outside. But in the meantime, they're giving up percentage to Stevenson University.
2 ticks already in.
Yeah. So now Shinigami is back and they will have a numbers advantage for the time being. A great bio grenade onto Ant. That Reinhardt is so low. It finally wears off and able to get hit up. Dios in the meantime wrapping around the side, picking up 3 to finish off that fight. In the end, Shinigami able to hold off Stevenson, but giving up a fair amount to do so.
What was the advantage here? They did destroy the teleporter here, staggering an off tank, and just basically picking them off one by one. Nice strat. Their backline was able to keep stable with that degree and just rotating away points, so the tanks were able to coalesce on it. but it's still 2 ticks, so they Stevenson only need one more tick here on this fight.
Oh, Moot taking out the fight. Duo coming out with the kill there. I was going to say Dios has that barrage online ready to go, but perhaps, oh no, won't be a little wary. A little too unwary, really. Johnny able to pick the fire out of the fight. Now there's no pharmacy available for Shinigami. They're getting some trades, courtesy of Z2. Oh, and the Graviton Surge as well with the Nano Boost. Wow! Oh
You
my
have to see that.
word!
He has the high charge there. Good eye from Timmy
Oh.
with that right click. Oh, there we get this great that has to be a highlight for ZPK right there.
That is an absolute clutch play from those two players. Oh, Stevenson was going to run all over them.
And they have Ant coming back. He does have the shatter there, so if he's able to use his shatter to effectiveness, he should be able to keep holding this show.
The Graviton of their own available for Stevenson. Oh, you're not going to use it when you're lying on the ground like that, though. The big hammer of Ant swinging through. Radioactive taken out of the fight, as well as the rest of Stevenson University. They are forced back to spawn yet again.
Interesting bait here from Ant, just looking to the side, coming in, and both the McCree, they were just like out of line LOS, just being a little more resilient here, trying to get a little poke damage, trying to get their ults online, and that will cost them the fight. And bumper strat coming out from Ant here.
Yeah, Somi just throws in the Earth Shatter, but to no avail. Oh, Lucanas gets a double K with the Deadeye. Oh, Shinigami has got this map all but sewn up, really. Only a minute left on the clock, and they are spawn camping Stevenson University right now.
Well, they have the advantage, and they've been so dominant on this map in the previous ones that they can... It's only 1 minute left. Even if they get that first point, they still have the second point to fall back to. And they
Is
have
the
the
grab
ult to do this.
Why is there a grab in front of the spawn? The barrage over the top. Oh, and the Transcendence, that poor little Zenyatta.
But get the pick on
Gonna be res.
Oh,
Oh,
this is the second time I've seen a spawn camping strat. Not to perfection like I saw the other one. I believe it was 6 guns with that beautiful strat I saw. But Ed, he has a choke. It is the doorway into the spawn.
Oh, if Ant's able to stay alive, no, not going to build up that Earth Shatter. So a little ray of hope for Stevenson University right now.
40 seconds they have to get to 50 points.
And they've already lost Radioactive's mech. Now Dios is out of the fight, so that's 2/3 of the team down. Ant will be charging back as fast as they can.
ZCK with that high
Oh,
charge.
what? Oh, has Stevenson losing a 4v2? A 4v6, sorry. Oh, no.
Only 2 seconds left. There's no way Anna gets the point, and it should be
Oh.
going to 3-0.
Oh, that's gotta be heartbreaking for Stevenson. Oh.
It seems that C2K heard us like about the charge, and he's like, radioactive for good Zarya. Let me show you how it's done. Picks up the Zarya.
Wow, so we will play out the 4th map. We play the 4-map set for map differential. The Shinigami have won the series so far, and I shudder to think what's about to happen on our hybrid map, based on what we've seen here.
Well, if you saw 28 for Z2K and only 18 for radioactive, that's a 10-point difference, even at a higher average charge. It is, I believe that's the difference that they had. That's the difference he was able to get the grass online a little bit more aggressively, and
You know what? I feel we've been remiss. We haven't mentioned once the MVP vote below the stream.
oh, there is one.
So we've seen lots of great players out of both teams, particularly out of Shinigami, seeing as they're on top. But if someone from Stevenson you feel has been doing better than everyone else in the serve, make sure you vote for them down below. We'd like to know who the best player on the ground was today. Make sure you're doing that in this little map break.
Well, Johnny and Zenyatta had a great showing on attack front. Basically, Diaz was so dominant on that Pharah here, but they made him switch off. Just Johnny just had those picks coming in, and with that Discord as well, it's just Diaz being shut down. He needed to switch over to his Doomfist to continue supporting his team, so that might be a pick for you.
It could
Also,
be
Simone
that.
here having a nice Rhine v Rhine battle here. I still believe it's fairly even on both sides, the Rhine v Rhine battle. and shattering the shield quite a bit of times. Sombra doing the same here. So I think both of them are fairly even, DPS fairly even here. So I'm sorry, I might become a Z2K fanboy, but it is Z2K that is the difference here, especially with being down by 3 people, Z2K getting the nano, actually be down by 4 people, Z2K getting the nano, and still winning out the fight. What more can you say?
Yeah, it's not every day you get to see a Zarya just gravitating the enemy spawn door. Just because, you know, why not? We're not worried. You
Why
just
not? Yeah.
throw it in. It's a you have a transcendence. I don't care.
Either way, we'll be picking up Numbani here. It seems that Steven University is the one to pick. They're going to be on defense first. Um, Not sure what they're going to be expecting here. Once again,
Uh oh.
this is again first point of Numbani is the they're actually going to be King's Row. I was about to say, um,
Oh, we must have forgotten to mention King's Row was in the
oh,
in the map.
in the
Why would
map
you
will
pick
look. But
Numbani?
Numbani is a good map, but it is a Pharah dominated map from first point to third point, and with DLs being so strong, I was about to say is like. Are you just giving up, Stevenson, or are you trying to defend that? But King's Row, it is the standard map here. Torbjorn, very beautiful on first point defense, so it's gonna be up to Friggy to get those kills out, to get the damage into shield, build up that molten core, and just deny the amount of time for Shinigami to push this. And with the amount of open space, not a lot of cover on this first point. So if Johnny is able to get that line of sight on Dios once again, he's going to be able to shut him down on Fair Mercy. But Dios has great Doomfist, so let's see what they can do. Shinigami has still won this, but it is Steven University. They still need a map score. They still want to be up there as well.
And speaking of Doomfist, it is a map that I have seen a fair bit of Doomfist on played by other teams. So I would not be surprised at all if we saw it come out.
Well, it
I
is
wouldn't be
the
surprised.
Doomfist is the alternative for May here. Just he's another tank. He gets the kills, everything else, and especially if you are able to nano him, with the extra combo he can put out, he can basically do his combos and kill tanks with it, which in this current meta with the amount of healing coming in, is just fantastic.
Indeed, the classic Ryan Zarya here as well from the defending team,
No, no, no,
Stevenson.
no, no. They're gonna put Lucanus on top of the statue and the Serene Destruction down onto them. It has to be this. It's a beautiful strat. I've literally done this today as well. It is one of the most beautiful things coming out. They're putting Z2K on Zarya, potentially a bubble coming out. Teleporter coming
Here we go.
out.
The teleporter's out. It's not there. It's been spotted though, so they are going to drop down.
Yeah,
No.
look at the damage here.
Look at that. The Ana healing, keeping Luke alive. Though it is the kills going all the way of Stevenson for the moment. Duo picking up 2.
Went past the LOS of that Bastion. If you play in the LOS of Bastion, you can win this. Otherwise, it is fairly hopeless. I think CGK should have switched on to a potential Sigma here. If you have that shield up as well, you slow push it and you sit on point and let them engage into you. And as long as that Bastion has that Sigma here in front of him, there's no contesting it. You can rain on destruction with the first point for free. Let's see
Was a great idea.
Yeah, the Z2K already 63 to the next grab. So it was more about the fact that like you can try it out. If it doesn't work, you still have the ult advantage.
Because Dios on the Pharah now. Luke off onto the McCree. They've already taken care of that turret. Lucanus out of the fight as well. Ant is so low.
Oh, Z2K with the nano though.
Yeah,
He already
coming
has
back.
grab.
Oh, wow. Uses it.
Doesn't edge them out, but he still has
stuck
time starts here.
Somi, Somi went on an adventure there, picked up 2, laid the Earth Shadow down, but it wasn't enough.
And it's Steven University scared, hiding with 2 supports and the Torbjorn in that hotel, not wanting to come out and face Z2K head on. With ease, his own raid boss right there. Who cares about Brig? It is Z2K, the new raid boss of Overwatch.
Wow, that was a weird fight. But in the end, Shinigami able to pull it out. Look at this. They've got 4.5 minutes to push through Street's phase. They've got so many ultimates to do it with as well. Oh, me man. Oh no. Oh, the support
Oh,
line is
the
gone.
staggered spawn got pushed, and it's Shinigami. You're still with the advantage going. They're going angry, aggressive here. They have Timmy on payload pushing it up, and they still have Valkyrie being aggressive here. And Dios has the Barrage up as well. They just need that one. And Deep2K once again has Graviton. He was able to build 2 while Radioactive is still sitting on his first.
Oh, Radioactive hasn't even had a chance, an opportunity, an opening to use that Graviton Surge. We'll see if they're able to get it before point B is finished. Oh, but with the Deadeye and the barrage over the top, great bubble to keep Dios alive, making sure the barrage is finished. Somi gets a kill onto Luke, but they lose Johnny and Somi as well to Ants. And the resurrection onto Luke. A full 6 members
still
waiting
going
here.
aggressive into the spawn of Stevenson University here as well. They haven't been able, the entire Sweet Space haven't been able to touch the point once.
They haven't even gone out of Sweet Space. Oh, Somi almost got the charge on Luke, but stunned in the middle of it. Just knocks the McCree back. There you go, the Nano now invested onto Somi, but oh, Nat for the right heart into the Earth Shatter as well. Able to bubble by Radioactive, who kills Ant. They give the life for it, they still haven't used that Graviton Surge. Oh, and they're not going to get a chance to use it in this fight either. There you go, the resurrection onto Ant. The Reinhardt's back in the fight as Somi goes down as well. There is absolutely no protection for the side of Stevenson. Shinigami.
Johnny giving up.
Oh. Oh, I feel bad for Stevenson. They are absolutely getting steamrolled. Radioactive can't even make it out of spawn to use that Graviton Surge. Neither can Friggy, just getting killed in the doorway. There you go, the Transcendence on the point. Jewison able to get out and contest the cart. But unfortunately, a lone little Zenyatta is going to be beaten down by those rockets of the
It's kind of hard for Steven University coming back here. It seems like Shinigami has pushed forward here. They're still showing up beautiful. But I see that Shinigami is just so much in control of this map.
So on defense here, Shinigami looking for another full hold. Stevenson, I guess at this point, just playing for their pride. If they're able to get it the whole way, hopefully with a minute remaining in the time bank, they'll get another push, and maybe they can eke out a map win. But it would be a great struggle for them to do so with the way Shinigami is playing right now.
No, but it's still up in the cards. They still had a good showing so far, and it might have been a little overzealous here, spawning on Shinigami and spurring them on a little bit more. But Stevenson University, they are a strong team. They are an excellent team, and they still have everything in the cards coming forward here. I just think they need to go a little more deep into them. Seems that they are potentially being slightly demoralized by the current fight it is, but I have complete faith in their team to come back here, to take a breather here and spawn and roll Shinigami on this attacking phase.
Speaking of taking a breather, we're seeing a different look from Shinigami on their defense and on the Roadhog. Z2 sticking with that Zarya. Timmy on the Zenyatta, Luke on the Tracer. The differences, Dios actually unsupported in the sky, no Mercy in sight. And we're seeing some changes from Stevenson as well. Going for the Roadhog Wrecking Ball. Both teams just wanted to have a little fun here.
It seems so all but Friggy with the great snipe to Dios.
And no resurrection for that Farah as well. Oh, Friggy picking up Moot as well. Picking off the mother-daughter combination. Oh, and I don't know what you're doing as a Widowmaker, getting into a Zarya sidelines. Z2 able to pick up the kill there.
Well, it seems they're opting for more, we want to play for fun.
The hook denied by the Wrecking Ball. Oh no. As we saw, I believe Z2 get hooked in by Somi, but then Johnny just booped the Zarya away before the kill could come through. There you go. Stevenson made it onto the point, but Timmy doesn't want them to capture any progress here. Actually, restrictions to a tick, gets the 3k. Dios back on the Widow as well. Seeing some changes now. Farah for Friggy. Friggy on the Farah.
Yeah, it seems like Stevenson University are...
Oh my word, Z2 had that built up already. Is Johnny able to eat the Pulse Bomb, so denying the good combo there, the Graviton Surge Pulse Bomb combo. It's not going to matter. Johnny's just stuck here outside, getting harassed. Might actually survive. They're able to get someone out to support them. Oh, it's actually just Z2 out here harassing. That's why no one's picking up Johnny.
Seems like Steven University potentially has given up. One person still in spawn.
Now they're coming out.
Oh, now they actually have a strat here. Seems like a decent opening here to go onto the attacking phase. Looking at turn here on the high ground with the Tracer, trying to zone out as well. But
oh,
getting a nice pick on Theo's getting a nice pick on here.
And we see Z2 already so charged, has the Graviton Surge yet again onto the wall. No denial at all coming through for Neg. No yum 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 for Sigma.
It's quite a different team from Shinigami. They did play, I believe it was Choco Bros the game before here. Didn't have strong showing in the previous maps. Couple mistakes here, but it seems that the coaching staff in that one off week was able to apparently rework a little bit of the Shinigami mess that they had before, and them coming really strong into this match. And I think they're going to be a strong force to reckon with later on in the tournament.
Oh, I look forward to seeing
means that Stevenson University has the same exact chance coming forward.
Yep, I look forward to any potential rematch between Shinigami and Choco Bros, given the improvement that Shinigami has showing later on if we get to playoffs and they match up. Stevenson just trying to get out of the spawn at this point. They might have Ant Trap. No, they knock Ant around the corner. There's another Graviton Surge. The entire team is caught in that. Self-destruct not going to pick up anyone. Not even going to let Somi back into the mech. This is 40 seconds left, and I'm not sure Stevenson's even going to get through this choke point anytime soon, Rins.
Neither do I. It seems they might have accepted their defeat so far. This actually does remind me more of both sides of the teams, what they're currently bringing to the table. Reminds me more of a game in silver with the Shinigami will bring out with the strats out.
They've got through to the point. They lose Chuo though. Oh, there's a little dance going on in the All the Earth Hotel. Ant is just trying to 1v2 both Me-Man and Somi. Eventually gets the better of that, putting a little bop onto Somi's head. But that will be Shinigami taking the map and just finishing the series with a clean sweep 4-0.
Either way, it seemed that Steven University just took the humor in that last map. Same for Shinigami here. It's nice to see sportsmanship from both teams coming in.
Oh, we're seeing Timmy with a player that came. This might be that 3K got to send the point back into Shinigami. So yes, it is. There you go. Lots of players from Shinigami having a great day. Somi as well. We saw with that team kill onto Hanamura. You know, if you think Somi was the MVP of today, make sure you're voting for them down below the stream. Given that the match is now over, we want to know who the best player on the ground was for the viewers today. So Rins, yeah, I think we kind of talked about how it went over the course of that King's Row. Shinigami on top today. They've learnt from their mistakes, and they are a force to be reckoned with in Division 1.
I think definitely they are a force to be reckoned with here, but like I said, Steven University, they have a strong base. I think if they are able to regroup a little bit faster, I think they can get back here. They definitely saw what the difficulties are, especially with hero bands coming in. I do believe if it would have been in the roster here, it would have been a completely different match. Steven University, I believe it was Johnny actually had in the previous matches quite the
good May.
quite the good May. So I think it would have been quite a bit different. Quite a bit of a different match if the map pool might have been slightly different. I'm going to be looking forward, especially seeing both these teams next week with May being back in the pool, but Anna and Moira being banned with Reinhardt as well.
And I mean, hero pools are here to stay. We're not going to get rid of them anytime soon, unless a tournament chooses not to run them. I mean, from a team perspective, do you think
it depends whether or not Blizzard is going to keep them up after this comp season?
That's a good point. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, if they do hang around, do you think it'll prompt teams to rethink how they strategize when picking up players and whatnot? That they're looking, they need players with maybe broader hero pools now because you can't be a maze specialist, you can't be a Pharah specialist if there's a risk of that player not being able to play anything
Well,
in a
for the
given week.
tournament at the end, I do believe characters are going to be not banned, so you can play whatever you want to. So if they're banking for that last season tournament here, if they have the specialist and a person that
Yeah,
strong, they have a good chance of winning the end of season tournament.
well, you've got to get to the end of season tournament first. Not every team makes playoffs. So Shinigami has done a great job of potentially. My mistake. Shape is correcting me. Every team does make playoffs. My mistake.
I
Well,
think
there
it's
you
a
go. So,
one. Uh, so
uh,
all right.
so just looking for. Okay, so let's go through Shinigami. So, I mean, we saw some amazing play out of Z2 on that Diva, but particularly on the Zarya. Once they went onto that, it was unbelievable how charged they were. The gravitons almost every fight on some of those maps. It was unbelievable to see. And looking at the entire tank line of Shinigami, I love seeing Ant as well, getting those nano boosts, just swinging through. I feel getting the better of Somi at some points, not necessarily in a Reinhardt v Reinhardt match, but the supports for Shinigami were doing a great job of supporting Ant, making
The
sure that
front
there
line.
were yeah, making sure the entire front line. You're right. Making sure the friendly bio grenades were there. Making sure that Reinhardt got healed when they went low. When they were going and swinging the hammer, saying, "You know what, just go for it. We got you." So full credit to Timmy and Moot there. Timmy in particular, we've mentioned it a couple of times now that a nano boost onto Z2 to save that first point on Hanamura. And that heads up play, not only from the Ana, playing in the back, keeping themselves alive as one of the last two members of the team, but knowing exactly when to throw that nano boost on to keep Z2 in the fight, keep that gate secure, and allow them to take the map without losing the first point.
Well, it's a nice showing to team play as well. Basically, he had the confidence in his off tank to be clutch there, and that was able to win him off that map.
And not to
Uh,
be, yeah, not
I'm
not to be.
sorry, I'm currently looking at
Sorry.
Mimo apparently shared his current gaming setup in season 3 chat. Slightly distracted at that picture. Um, the way I think we're gonna go into the MVP. Choose the MVP here. Who has currently the highest votes? I think it's Timmy and Z2K.
Well, they're both definitely worthy recipients of the title. You did call out, so we've talked.
Oh, so we're not on here. Oh, either way, good showing from
All right.
Endless.
All right, so we'll declare. Yep, we'll declare joint winners of the MVP vote will be Timmy and Z2, both worthy recipients. We've mentioned them multiple times across the entire broadcast for their fantastic play. Z2, a great off-tank player, pumping out that damage where required. Timmy keeping Z2 alive and the rest of the team as well. They're not to discredit the rest of Shinigami or Stevenson as well. I mean, my favorite play of the entire match was that team kill from Somi. I'm a main
Oh,
tank player
that
at heart.
was
I love to see
beautiful.
it. Oh, that was absolutely delightful to see.
That was a nice team play coming to fruition here. That Zenyatta, Lucio, the Reinhardt Nano, just a nice fruition on that entire comp. And I think with that we can sign off. Thank you guys for watching this game. If you want to join our Discord, exclamation Discord in chat. I think that's going to be it from me, Temporal. Any closing out words?
No, just congratulations to both to Shinigami in particular. Thanks to Stevenson for putting up a great show. I'm looking forward to seeing what both teams have for the rest of the season. Thank you, Shape, for producing. Thank you, Rins, for joining me at short notice. So I didn't have to lull everyone to sleep on my own. Yeah, everyone have a great evening. There's plenty more Revolution Overwatch to check out in the coming weeks and months.
Coming days